Right, Professor. Now we give you just about 10 minutes. Can you walk us through the journey of your life, right from some place in Seme to this great city of Nairobi, and today to this seat? They must be extremely interesting, and one which I think our young people should be listening to as to what a human being can achieve. Start, Professor.
Thank you very much, Chair. First of all, I would like to express my special appreciation to our President, His Excellency Dr. Ruto, for finding it fit to nominate me to come and appear before yourselves with the hope that I can be eventually appointed to be a commissioner in IEBC. Chairman, I also would like to thank you for even convening this committee to come and listen to me on this special day of Saturday. And perhaps more important for me also is that I find that I'm among some of the people who I know well and seem to know me well. Each one of them declared that they didn't have conflict of interest. Perhaps I should also do so, but now that I'm sitting on this side, maybe I'm not expected to do so. Chair, I understand you come from Tharaka Nithi. The only interest I might declare is that I've had a chance to be in a place called Marimanti. Now, that's
my constituency, Marimanti.
Yes, I've been there, but that's another story. Thank you. My name is Francis Aduo. I am a Kenyan by birth and ancestry. My ancestral home is in Seme sub-county or Seme constituency of Kisumu County. You asked me to start my story basically from the village. And so the village is in Seme. I come from a small place called Alungo, right on the shores of Lake Victoria in Seme sub-county. I went to schools, local schools in Seme, primary school, and partly to a primary school in Kisumu municipality. I took my secondary school education at Kisumu Boys High School and my high school at Maseno School. After Maseno School, I joined the University of Nairobi to study for a Bachelor of Science in Engineering degree with specialization in the area of surveying and photogrammetry. On my graduation, I took up a job with the Government Survey Department as a land surveyor, and on which I stayed for about 13 months. And then I was invited back to the University of Nairobi to take up a position as tutorial fellow, which position put me in a situation where I was a junior lecturer and also a postgraduate student at the same time. On completion of my master's degree, I was shortly afterwards promoted to the position of lecturer. And subsequently, I won a scholarship to proceed for my PhD studies in the Federal Republic of Germany at the University of Stuttgart, where I completed my PhD in 1988 and graduated with a Doctor of Engineering degree in the field of geodesy. Geodesy is the mathematical study of the size and shape of the Earth. It is an important area in the broad field of surveying. So I'm an expert on how large the Earth is or how small it is, how it looks like, and those kind of things. On my completion of the PhD, I returned to Kenya and continued with my work at the University of Nairobi. Shortly after that, I was promoted to the position of senior lecturer. And in 1994, I became an associate professor in surveying at the university. In 2001, I became full professor. and to give my inaugural lecture in 2006. Going back a little on the professional side, I'm a fully registered surveyor in this country. And within the University of Nairobi, I was involved in a lot of things to do with university administration. I was head of department in 1991 to 1995. 95 to 1999, I was dean of the Faculty of Engineering. And from 99 to 2000, College of Architecture and Engineering. In 2008, I was appointed to become the inaugural principal of what was then the Kenya Polytechnic University College. And when the University College was promoted or elevated to university status in 2013, I also became the inaugural Vice Chancellor. I did my 2 terms of 5 years, and completed my tour of duty successfully in 2023 May. And thereafter, I took up a position as professor in the Technical University of Kenya. This was a position on contract now, and my contract just expired about how many days ago? I think 16 days ago. I did my last day at the Technical University of Kenya on 15th May. And so roughly, that has been my journey. Now, as a university administrator, I have been involved in a lot of work in this country at committee level, and you will see from my CV, I think I've been involved in almost 40 committees, probably 20 of them I have been chairman, most of them to do with the development of higher education in this country. I will just cite a few, about four things or 5 things that I've been involved in, and then probably we can continue from there. At the University of Nairobi, I was the first person to I chaired the first strategic plan of the University of Nairobi. I also became chair of a committee that reviewed the structure of the University of Nairobi. I think this was around 2006, 2007. Before that, I chaired a major committee of the university that worked out the costs of academic programs in the university. This is what became known in this country as differentiated unit cost. And before that, I chaired another committee which was tasked with the responsibility of determining how many lecturers the university needed to have. And a lot of this was original work, which meant that I had to think through and come up with formulas that could work. And later on, I think in 1998, I was a member of a very important committee which worked out the methodology of that those days Joint Admissions Board, the methodology for admitting students in the university, what eventually became known as the weighted cluster method. This is the method that is still used now by KUCCPS to admit our students in the university. We revised it in 2012. At that time, I was now the chair of the committee, and a lot of this was original work, so I developed a formula which allows us to do this. I have served on international committees in the International Association of Geodesy. At one stage, I was a member of the subcommittee dealing with statistics and computations. I consider myself to have specialized expertise in that area, and I was made a member of this subcommittee. I have served as a member of the Association of Commonwealth Universities, which is the Commonwealth universities in the world, created in 2013, responsible for 500 universities in the world. The membership is usually about 25 people, and I consider that this was big prestige, that I should have been nominated to serve on this committee. So, Chairman, I think this gives a rough view of what I am. I've left out something which is to do with why I have applied to be a member of IEBC Commission. So I don't know whether I can tackle that right now, or I leave it to you to prompt me. Thank you.
We will prompt you, because all of us are looking at exactly the professor. So, Professor, take a piece of paper and a pen. We will ask our question in succession quickly, and when your time comes, I'll guide you to give concise answers so that we do not take a lot of time on this. And just to start us off, Professor, there is no doubt whatsoever in your academic field, in survey engineering, you are an expert par excellence. I don't think anybody would doubt this, although we do not have the experience in those fields. But suddenly, and later in life, you now have to become an expert in election matters. Start with telling us, what expertise are you taking to IEBC, so that when Kenyans look at the IEBC Commission itself, they see Professor Francis Aduol. They know for sure IEBC is going to deliver elections that are fair, free, credible, and verifiable. What gives you that metal which you can give to us regarding your expertise in election matters, and especially in view of the fact that you've been a scientist who knows the size of the earth, how big it is or how small it is? Thank you. Honorable Mutuse.
Thank you, Chairman. I would allow the professor to finish taking his sip, so then he can be able to write. Talk to us about the limitation of boundaries. You know, there has been debate in this country, and I know you are also familiar with the provisions of Article 89 of the Constitution. There has been debate about where to put in more weight: population, geography, historical community interests. In your own expertise, and now as a nominee to become a commissioner at IEBC,